Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome Sangat Ji to Share Charity TV show. And this week co-presenting with me is Baldev Singh, our Share Charity Sevadar.
We'd like to begin off by thanking our donors. We've had generous donations from numerous people. Baldev Singh Ji Leicester.
Jaswinder Singh Coventry, thank you very much for your donation.
And Bajagdeep Singh Ji Manchester.
So we've had some fabulous feedback from our Share Charity apps. Thank you so much Sangat Ji for your feedback. So we've had feedback from far and wide this year, haven't we?
Yeah, Gurbakh Singh Ji Pogal has mentioned and commented on the new Sikhi to the Max app from the USA.
And we've got Indrajit Sen from Coventry, haven't we? It's talking about Sikhi to the Max again, haven't we?
Yeah, he's talked about the brand new great feature, which is the Pothi, where you can select your own favourite shabads and search for them later.
So the Learn Gurmukhi app, we've had some actually interesting feedback for that. I think that's everybody has really engaged with that app. So I think it was Amandeep Singh Leicester, I think he particularly left a fair bit of feedback. So thank you very much for your feedback and keep it coming in. Thank you, Sangat Ji. The parenting segment, we'll be looking at nurturing a happy marriage to create a happy household.
And then everyone's favourite Share Sikhi segment with Baitar Sem Singh will be on Bhairama Singh's autobiography and Khalsa Raj.
We've also got our health segment, trying to get us energised with by Harbir Singh. Look out for that.
And later on tonight we'll be announcing the winners of the Share Charity competition.
Can't wait.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Bitty. I am Bittu's sister. Bittu is very busy this week, but asked me to send you a message. Bittu and the Khalsa Club team hope you have enjoyed the Khalsa Club show over the last 10 weeks. Here are some of our best bits. Enjoy! Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to our first Khalsa Club show. My name is Sukhmani Kaur. And my name is Anand Kaur. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. We've come to the Gurdwara with our families.
We come into the Diwan Hall to pay our respects to our Guru, Guru Granth Sahib Ji. When we are standing in front of our Guru Sahib Ji, we always say, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
This is where all of the yummy langar gets made. Bibi Ji, what are you making?
I make prasada for Sangat.
Lots of seva happens in the Gurdwara on a regular basis. As you can see, these bibiyan are doing selfless service, making prashad there. Sometimes these prashad there even go off to homeless shelters.
Turn Sukhmani Kaur. What's in this box? Let's see.
Is that a gattara?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely a gattara.
That's right. That's a gatra. Where does a gatra go, anybody?
Oh, from down there.
Yeah, down there. And what do we put in the gatra?
A gurban.
Gurban, that's right. So we've got a big, massive gatra that will fit our friend Shira Singh too. Okay, so would you just like to hold on to that a minute? Okay, Avneet Kaur. See if you can guess what the item is that's going to come out. What is it?
It's a kashera.
A kashera. Right, guys. A kashera is worn by every Ammadari. Put your hand in. What? A banana? Who put a banana in there? No. Who put a banana in there? Do you know who I think it is? I think it's our cheeky monkey friend called Bittu.
Oh.
Isn't it Bittu that's done
Yeah.
this? He probably wants a killer right now.
Loves
Bittu, if that's you, you're going to be in trouble.
My God, I found £10 in the shoe area at the Gurdwara. Look, it's a real £10. What should I do? Should I buy some chocolate? Or is the right thing to give the money to the Gurdwara? Oh, that class was great. It taught me loads about Sikhi. Well, at least I know now what is right and what is wrong.
Guruji sits on a manji sahib, which is within a balki. Guruji is always placed higher. This is to show respect. Can anybody guess what this is called? Out of you guys? Anybody?
Jor Sahib.
Jar Sahib, that's right. Jar Sahib is done to show royalty. In the past, kings and queens would have Jar Sahib done over them. We do this over Guru Granth Sahib Ji because he is our King of Kings and to show royalty and respect. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the Khalsa Club show. I'm Kiran Kaur and with me I have some beautiful assistants. So,
Chef Ishwar Kaur.
Chef Ishwar Kaur. Okay, and you are?
Sukhmani Kaur.
Sukhmani Kaur.
Seva is the way we can use our hands to pray. Seva is the way we can change the world today. Seva is the way, Seva is the way, Seva is the way, so let's all serve today. Seva makes me grateful, it's how I spend my time. Serving Guru Nanak, I now have peace of mind. Thinking of my Guru, I just can't wait to start. Thinking of my Guru, I serve with all my heart. Seva is the way.
Oh, I love bananas. Oh, I love bananas, and I got chocolate as well.
Bittu, what's that? What have you got there?
Nothing.
It definitely looks like something.
Right.
That should be for the children. We're putting them in the shoe boxes.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yes, that's not a very good thing to do, is it? What did we say to you before?
Oh, no.
It's all about sharing.
You're right.
Okay, thank you. Can you put it back in the shoe box, please?
Sure. Okay, then.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We're doing horse riding, just like in our Sikh history. Everybody loved horses. Do you want to have a go?
Wow. I'm not sure, you know. I'm a bit scared, you know. They're big horses.
Oh, come on. You're strong.
Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll sit with Harsimran. If I just hold on to her back, do you think that'll be okay?
That's a good idea, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do that, but I'm not sure, you know. Okay, but I'm going to be brave.
All of us strong warriors. You can be like them. Go on, you can do it.
Yeah, that's right. I think I am. I think I'm going to be like the brave warriors. I'm going to do it. Okay? I'm just going to go now.
Okay, good. So we'll tell you and share some facts about Mai Bhago. Mai Bhago Ji was a Sikh warrior, the first Sikh woman warrior ever to fight in battle. She was very strong and very powerful. From a very young age, she learnt and mastered the art of horsemanship and being a warrior.
So the parenting segment has received a lot of feedback, and this week we're looking at nurturing a happy marriage for a happy family household, a family life.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. And welcome to this week's parenting segment. So far you would have seen us deliver individually, but this week we thought we'd give it a go together.
Yeah, that's right. And we're going to be talking to you about nurturing our marriage and why that's important for our parenting. Right. So first, I just wanted to let everybody know that I've been a Sikh for about 11 years now. Practicing Sikh for 11 years. That's right. And what about yourself?
I come into Sikhi in 2004, so about 14 years now.
Okay, and we've been married for 10 years now.
10 years, yeah.
We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary this year, and we've had 3 children.
3 kids, yeah.
Yeah, and there's been lots of ups and downs, haven't there?
There have been ups and downs along the way, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you think you're going to get through it, and sometimes you think you don't. Yeah. But it's really important that you always are working together to find a resolve.
And we just want to be honest about that. And that's the reality of marriages. There's ups and downs all the time. We as Share Charity UK created an infographic called A Healthy Anand Cottage. This is what you can see on your screen at the moment. This is a checklist to help you evaluate and reflect on your marriage and work towards improving it.
When we got married, we had Mansimra Kaur, our eldest child, quite quickly, and I was really conscious in saying to Gurpreet Singh that we've not really spent any time together, you know, as a couple. So, you know, it's important that we nurture our marriage, you know, through our life together, because we don't want, you know, when our kids kind of leave the nest, be looking at each other and thinking we don't know who each other are.
And a lot of that emphasis, as we mentioned, is focused on that one day, your wedding day, and not actually what happens after that.
Yeah, I mean, like, so when you get married, a lot, I mean, I don't really think that it happened too much with us, because we got married in a really short frame, didn't we? Like, so it was only 3 months in which, like, you know, we got married, so it was really quick. But there's some people that they spend, you know, like a whole year preparing for their marriage. Yeah, and they're thinking about all these kinds of external things. So they're thinking about, you know, what they're going to wear, and, you know, where it's going to be, and what's going to happen after, as when they're going on holiday. And so all this emphasis gets put into this one day, but then that kind of gets lost when it comes to looking after the marriage kind of throughout the life again.
Yeah.
So this infographic is amazing, because it really does it's like a reality check, really.
The infographic is split into 2 bite-sized columns, one being the selfish mind's way and the other being the selfless Sikhi way. The things that we don't do, for example, we don't insult, belittle or ridicule each other, we don't restrict, control or threaten each other, and we don't give each other the silent treatment. Are some examples.
Yeah, and the things that we should be doing is that we should share each other's successes and struggles. We should recognise that individual time is important and not a threat. We should celebrate our differences in personality, and that we should share household chores and our duties fairly. So we've just kind of named like picked out a few that we kind of have really resonated with us, but there's lots more, and we really do urge you to have a look at this on the Share Charity website. The second part of the checklist, which is the bit where you would need to sit down with your partner and really work together on this, is the actual checklist, which looks like this, and we're going to be putting that on the screen so you can have a better look at it. And we wanted to do something a bit fun with you today. We actually wanted to do the checklist together,
have a go at it,
but with you guys with us as well.
So before we go through the checklist with you, we just wanted to emphasise why us as Share Charity UK have chosen these individual sections to go through.
Top 3 financial goals. Why do you think that that's been put in there?
I think financial goals are important as a couple. The reality of them, as we know in society these days, living within your means is very important, and it's important that you are both on track with the same financial mindset, that you have those same things that you want to achieve.
Goals for our children. So I know you're gonna have like your own kind of expectations when it comes to goals for our children, but individually we have those, but together I think the main thing is that our children are raised as strong, confident, spiritual individuals that can contribute to society, and can make a difference to the month. I think that goes without saying, and I don't even think that we've ever had a conversation about that, have we?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
no.
But
I think we're on the same page. I think that's very important to have the same goals for your children aligned, because otherwise you're going to get conflicting messages to the kids. It's sort of important that we tell the kids as well what their goals are, so that they can have that in them, that they want to reach for them goals, and then make the goals realistic for them as they're growing up.
So there are a couple of reasonings about why we have certain kind of areas of reflection on the checklist. So now let's actually look at our own personal.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah, okay. So I filled out my sheet. Have you filled out yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
How'd you find it?
It was quite hard actually.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, I really had to kind of really reflect on certain areas. But we're just gonna pick up on kind of a few points of reflection, and we can see what we've got. So what do you think? My individual time?
Yeah. So what'd you get?
Swimming. I like to go swimming in my individual time because I feel like a fish in the water.
No, yeah. I like watching Arsenal play, as you know. I don't know, something just happens to me. It's like it's in my own little world for 90 minutes. I'm sure most football fans will agree with me there.
Okay, what did you get for your second one?
I put learning about spirituality. I really find it fascinating, and that's something that's when I come into Sikhi, I wasn't really thinking about learning about spirituality, and I didn't really appreciate different individuals' kind of perspective and take on spirituality. Now I like learning about spirituality in general. It doesn't matter who it's from and what they're saying. I try to apply it to Sikhi.
Yeah, that's amazing. And one thing that I was going to say about you going off and doing that in the ways that you do with your audiobooks and all sorts of kind of little nuggets,
YouTube as well.
nuggets that you come home with. I really like when you share that with us at home, especially I know when Simma really enjoys it, especially the stuff on mindfulness.
Yeah.
It's really good. Second one I had was cooking. I'm not very good at cooking. I'm not very good at cooking at all.
You are. You're good.
I'm not.
I have to say that, don't I?
Yeah. Well done. I'm not really good at cooking, but I do really enjoy it, especially when I see people eating the food and enjoying it. So that's one for me.
And the last one I got was also swimming.
Oh, okay.
And that's because, like, when I'm in the water, I just feel like nothing else matters. Like when you're in there, you just feel like free, like totally.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to say that when I first met you, you couldn't swim.
Yeah.
And through kind of giving reassurance and confidence, you've been able to go and get some swimming lessons and learn as an adult, which is amazing. So, upon reflection and summary of our individual times, do you think they conflict with each other?
No, I don't think so at all.
No, I don't.
I think they enhance each other.
Yeah, I agree. So the next one is when do we sit together?
I put, obviously the main time is when we eat.
Yeah.
When we sit around the dinner table as a family, we do try to do that as much as we can.
Yeah, I had eat as well. What I got for the next one was reading time.
Yeah, I got that as well.
Okay.
It's not a fix, trust me.
Yeah, so I had reading time because we love reading in this house, and the kids love to read and to be read to. And what did you get for your third one?
I put actually when we do Areras and Sohela, because they are the times, especially more often than not on the weekends, we do that together.
Yeah.
We do try our best to do that. I mean, in the week sometimes it's hard when we're busy running around with our schedules and doing it individually, but I think we have made a conscious effort to do that as a family, and it has made a difference because we've noticed with the kids, like they from listening to it, they've really picked it up.
Yeah, like when Simran nearly knows Riyadh Sahib.
Yeah, just because of that.
Yeah, just by listening to it. I actually had put down Bart as well, so yeah, so that's really good. So those three were exactly right, which is great. I'm grateful for these things. So this is a 5-point category.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
Yeah. Obviously, it goes without saying, Sikhi. Where would we be without that? Especially, we've both mentioned that we weren't into Sikhi before, we weren't practicing, so we both know when it comes down to it what our lives were like before Sikhi and what they were like after that.
Yeah, for number one, I also had Guru.
Yeah. Second point I put down is family. Again,
I had family too.
Okay, this is a natural thing that you think about, isn't it? Obviously, you think about are you grateful for what you have and what you can share with on a daily basis, and those that mean the most to you.
Yeah. The next one that I had was like Sangat, but when I had Sangat I also included yourself in that, so because you are my Sangat, because when I first took Amrit and I didn't have like any Sangat where I lived, there wasn't anything Sikhi related happening. So when we got married, I felt like I finally had some Sangat, and my Panch Pyare actually told me that when you get married, your partner becomes your Sangat, so so as well as having Sangat of each other, that also includes the wider Sangat that we have around us, which is a very strong Sangat and means a lot to us.
I also put that down as well, Sangat, but you're right to point that out, because we can think of Sangat as the wider circle, and it is the wider circle, but it's also our inner circle as well at home, so that's something that we can very easily ignore and look outside. And obviously I'm very grateful for the Sangat, the wider circle, and it's like a support structure.
And I think a lot of people do shy away, maybe because they're embarrassed or things like that, but I know when we've had some ups and downs in our marriage and in our lives together, that we've always turned to the Sangat, and we've not kind of hid away the problems that we've been having, and because of that reason they've been able to pull us out of kind of times of turmoil. So if the Sangat is used correctly, openly, it can be one of the strongest tools that you have.
The last one I put is forgiveness. So that's in general, but obviously mainly Guruji's forgiveness for us as his Sikhs, that Guruji forgives us time and time again and gives us countless opportunities to keep on giving us those opportunities to try to improve ourselves time and time again.
One of the sections that we haven't shared with you is how we split our chores. We actually covered a little bit of that under our gender norms parenting segment, which was a couple of episodes ago.
So yeah, check that one out if you missed it.
The other kind of part of the checklist, which is really, really good, is a things to think about box. And I thought it would be quite fun if we go through that.
I'm just going through it now. We've got nothing written down for this, so we're just going to give it a go right now, right in front of your eyes.
Okay. When did you last say you're sorry?
Ooh, this evening actually. When did I last pray for my partner?
I pray every day for you.
Okay, good.
Do you pray for me every day?
Try to. I will do tomorrow.
That means no. When did you last pay me a compliment?
Oh, that's an easy one. I pay you on daily.
Do you?
All the time, yeah.
When? So when was the last time you told me that you appreciate me? When was the last time you made me laugh?
Oh, that's an easy one. Just before we started recording, when all I did was say Fateh or done a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then you burst out laughing.
That's true. Okay.
When did I last ask him about what worries him?
You ask me that a lot.
Yeah.
Do I ask you that a lot? I think I do.
I'm not sure. Do you?
I ask you.
I think we're quite fortunate because we're able to tell when something is not quite right.
Yeah, women think that men should know what they're feeling and thinking, and men are just not built that way where they can pick up on those signals and signs.
Yeah.
So it's really important that for a female that they're really, really open and honest about how they're feeling and what they're going through, and I think that that's something that we've kind of really learned to do.
I'm honest with you sometimes, and I have to say to you, like, you're gonna have to spell it out to me.
Yeah, literally, he says those words. So yeah, and then I do, and it helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed our reflection time.
I really enjoyed it. I found it very informative.
Yeah, it was really good. We've never really done anything in that kind of format before, so it's really good.
No.
It's really important to kind of understand that Gurpreet Singh and I are not in a perfect marriage. We just are really aware that we need to work on things all the time.
Absolutely.
And, you know, important to know that, you know, when we kind of start to believe that we're in like a perfect setting, that's when we drop our guard, and then, you know, kind of we can make mistakes.
Doing an experiment like this is great because it highlights things for us, but it also shows us that, like, where we are as well, which is good as well, because sometimes you don't actually even acknowledge those things at all.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, this checklist that's been created by Share Charity UK is an excellent way to kind of practice that exercise together.
Absolutely, and the feedback that we've got when we actually put this on social media, we received so many comments and engagement from you guys, and it was like the most downloaded so far. And what we urge you to do now is, now that we know that you like it, is to give it a go like we have. And sit down with your partner and go through these steps.
And make sure your kids aren't there.
Yeah, that's right. Have some alone time if you can, if it's possible, to go through these things and highlight these things, and then try to work on them. But don't just leave it at that. Try to, you know, kind of reflect on them after 6 months maybe, and then see where you are. Things may have changed in that you may have found some new things or some different areas of improvement.
Yeah, the key thing to remember is that working on our marriages and nurturing them every single day is really key to your parenting. When your child sees that you are making an effort and you are in a loving relationship with your partner, they'll grow up to naturally see that as being what they want in their relationships. And it's the same with domestic violence, and we hear about that all the time, don't we? That someone who has been raised in a household where there's a lot of domestic violence, when they get married and their partner, or if their partner, you know, kind of raises their hand to them, then naturally they think that that's okay because that's what they've grown up seeing.
That's what we hear, isn't it? Children see, children do.
Absolutely.
So if they see us, you know, attempting to work as a team, and we can share this with our children, and they can see us, you know, working together, working towards something, and they will grasp that. They will pick up on that. We know what our children are like. They pick up on everything. They're like little detectives, aren't they?
Yeah,
they know what's going on all the time.
And, you know, looking after your marriage is not just responsibility that you have to one another, it's also a responsibility that you have to Guru Ram Das Ji and to your children.
And to the Sanghas that were there on the day that you got married, that witnessed your Anand College.
Anji, I agree. Thank you very much for watching the show. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Sometimes our ideas of what makes for a healthy Anand College may differ. In some cases, our ideas may actually be incorrect, especially for those who haven't grown up seeing examples of healthy marriages. Although every couple's relationship dynamics are a little different, there are certain characteristics that are commonly found in healthy relationships. Share Charity has taken the initiative to produce an infographic that tries to address this delicate subject by showing both negative and positive characteristics, and by modelling some positive aspects in how couples should try to communicate with one another. The infographic is free and comes with a worksheet for couples to fill out independently and then come together and discuss. This helps couples improve their communications and also helps them recognise improvement areas that they may not be aware of. Life is full of stresses and we are kept so busy with our day-to-day lives. This sometimes means that couples do not get a chance to evaluate what is and what isn't working in their relationship. And it is just as important to align our spiritual, personal, social and financial goals. We hope that in the majority of cases the framework laid out will help couples to evaluate, understand and improve their relationships. Please download your copy today and display it at your local Gurdwara, and please spread it among your local community too. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
We've got our health segment this week, and Bhai Harbir Singh is now looking at leg exercises, getting us up and active. Following him on his routines, we've had a lot of videos sent through of children following out Harbir Singh's exercises, so we hope you're going to get active after watching this.
Welcome back. On today's healthy body workout, we're going to get your legs as strong as tree trunks, and that's really important because it's going to help you do lots of other movements. These are the biggest muscles in your body, so if you get these strong, it's really good in terms of hormones like human growth hormone, which affects bone strength and lean muscle mass, lots of other factors like that. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with side lunges. You're going to step as far as you comfortably can to the side, bend the knee, and we're going to try not to let the knee go over the foot. So you want to make sure you can still see your toes, and then you come back to the middle and you step to the other side. And again, you don't want the knee to go over the toes because that's going to put a lot of pressure on the knee. You just want to put your bottom out so that you can still see your toes, back to the middle. So it's working balance and strength. We're going to go for a few more of those, and then we're going to move on to the next exercise. So your legs might burn during this one, but that's okay because at the end of it, we're going to have a nice cup of tea and relax. You can breathe, and breathing is really important to get oxygen to the muscles and help with control and pace. Next exercise, we're going to get into front lunges. Same sort of thing, but slightly different movement, different muscle groups involved. So feet shoulder width apart, we're going to take a step and a bit of a lunge, hence the name. And then we're going to bend our leg, and we don't want this knee to go in front of the foot. So we want to at all times be able to see our toes. We're going to go down. You can put your hands on your hips, or you can put your hand on your knee, or you can put your hands by the side. And we're going to go down, and if I've got my hands on my leg, I can actually feel my leg working, which is good. And then we're going to come back to the middle, and we're going to switch legs. So we'll do a few of those. Lunge, lower yourself down as far as you can comfortably, come back to the middle, and you'll start to feel a burn, and that's a good thing. That's your body getting stronger. So we've got to fall in love with that burn, and then come back to the middle, and then go far out. Again, breathing. And last one, we're going to focus on a different type of lunge. It's called a backward lunge. And again, it works different muscle groups. So from here, from standing position, we're going to bring one leg back, and then we're going to bend that leg, and then come back to the middle. Breathe, take the other leg back, bend that leg, keep our balance, and breathe. So running forward is good, and running back is good, because they work different types of muscle groups. And in the same way, doing novel movements, like doing lunges backward, helps to develop different areas of the brain, your body, which is going to make you feel healthier, fitter, and help you stay out of pain.
Tonight we are joined by Bhai Tarsem Singh Ji, who will be talking about Khalsa Raj, as described in Bhai Rama Singh Ji's autobiography.
The emphasis for Share Sikhi segment this week, it looks at Simran and doing Simran, meditating and bringing meditation into your life. Enjoy.
Bhai Rama Singh, when I read his book, he said he had a dream about the Khalsa Raj. The Guru describes time as obviously present, past and future. God is not in any of those. God is not present, past or future. That's a creation. Time is a creation. So to understand God, and we try to understand God through time, you won't understand Him like that. But as a spiritual person, an individual can go backwards in time and can go forwards in time as well. It's not difficult for an individual to know that they've had previous lives. But also, individuals knowing that my time here is only X amount of time, knowing that much. That's not totally difficult. That's a really difficult thing for someone who's focused on single-minded, God-loving. To them, that's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. And when we talk about blessings, we talk about Guru again. When the Guru wants to bless us, he will never give us something that we can't control, because that would be bad judgment from the Guru. Now, so those kind of things where you can understand back, forward, time, what it's all about, how long you're here, where did you come from, who, why is that person your sister now, your brother, your father? That's the kind of stuff average person, you don't want to know that. You don't want to know, because you might not be able to handle it. But as a spiritual person, to them, if you can get to that level where it doesn't mean that much to you anymore, God blesses you with these kind of things. When Bhai Rama Singh, he wrote about a dream, he called it a dream, and the amount of detail he wrote in his dream, clearly, well, doesn't matter, you can make your own judgment. So what Bhai Rama Singh did, he said, when he's passed away now, and he wrote a book, but so this is not about any specific type of Sikhi, people always think you quote a certain name, it's about some type of Sikhi or some Jatha group or whatever. There's nothing to do with that. If you look at it, it applies to every Sikh. So Bhai Rama Singh said, in South Gurdwara, they did 6 months of Simran in the Sangat. So every Amrit Villa, the Sangat started doing Simran together, and that formed an energy. When individuals come together at Amrit Villa, and it forms an energy, and that energy, he said, it led to a spiritual experience in a dream. Now in his dream, he said he went to the Golden Temple, Darbar Sahib. He said what he visualized there, he goes, is different from what it was now. He goes, it's still gold. He goes, but it's encrusted in diamonds. And he didn't understand what. He goes, but it's just like glowing. It's really different. So he said the Kirtan was playing, and he said the Kirtan, he was doing a shabad, apne bal rakhe Par Brahm Gurudev Sukh Shant Sahjanan Be Puran Paise Bhagdana Ki Binti Suni Prabhu. So he said that Kirtan was playing. So he even said which Kirtan, what shabad they were singing when he went inside. But he said the Panj Pyare, different from Panj Pyare possibly, is he said they were in a Akal Takht, just in that. So the Akal Takht is the temporal throne there for the Sikhs. He said they were just there meditating. That's what the 5 Singhs of the Panth were doing. They're just meditating in there. So he went into Akal Takht, and he said, when he said Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Fateh to them, in other words the greeting, he said it sounded like, it was really loud, it was really resonating. But he said that what happened is he realized that he was seeing the Khalsa Raj. He'd gone into a future state. He'd gone into a future. So one of the Singhs asked him, he said, asked him why he'd come. He said, have you come to see the Khalsa Raj? He goes, we'll show you what it is. So even they confirmed it. So he said, one of the Singhs, he called him Khalsa Ji, he started showing him around. He said, what's going on? So he said, inside of there, they took him to a tunnel. He said, they took him to an underground tunnel. He goes, they were just doing Simran there. Because there's loads of Sikhs, they're just doing Simran. And later on he describes, he says that tunnel was from Amritsar all the way to Delhi. And there's sections coming off the tunnel. So he's saying that villages are coming off the tunnel like that. And he says, but in the villages, he goes, they're making the langar and they're doing various things. He goes, but they all come into the tunnel at Amrit Villa. And he describes that later. But he says, they took him to the tunnel, and he said when he's standing there, he goes, he started crying in his dream. In this dream, he started crying. He goes, because the vibration of the Simran, he goes, I couldn't understand. He goes, it's making really blissful sound, when they're doing Simran. So he said lots of Sikhs were doing Simran, and he said there's natural sounds as well in the tunnel, just nature. Because that sound was really sounding really beautiful. But he said the Guru Granth Sahib, he says, is on a throne. He goes, amazing sight. Because when you saw the Guru there, he goes, all decorated differently, not like the way he's done now. And he said the image of Guru Gobind Singh Ji came to him through the Guru Granth Sahib. And what he said, Guru said to him, that any person, any Sikh there now, he said, anyone who does Simran here, he goes, my blessings, God bless them, and they get saved. Anyone who's doing Simran. So he said that, while he's standing there, he said he saw Guruji praying to God, saying, when I came here, said, we'll make a few thousand Sikhs. He goes, you've made hundreds of thousands now. He says, you've made thousands. He goes, there's loads, from, everyone knows the distance from Delhi to Amritsar. That's a long distance. But he's saying that, said when the congregation finished, when they finished doing their meditation, he said about 20 remained, so like about this much. He said, but all the others had gone. And he said he asked that one of the Panj Pyara who brought him around, who was actually a white Sikh, not a Punjabi one. He said, why? He goes, why have they gone? He goes, where are they? Why are they sitting here like this? The others have all gone. He said, they're gone to Sachkhand. He said, their minds now, they're so absorbed in their Naam, because they're absorbed so much. He goes, some of them will come back in 4 hours, some will 8, some in a day. He goes, but some will come back in 2 days, because they won't come back. Because their mind will stay there. So he said, then they took it to the Gurdwara. He said, in the Gurdwara, he goes, there's marriages happening. He said, and the marriage was between a white person and a Punjabi person, an Indian person and a white person. He goes, there's 2 couples. He goes, there's a white man and an Indian lady, and he goes, there's a white lady and an Indian man. The two couples getting married. And these were Gursikhs, these were Amritdhari Gursikhs. But he said, when he asked them, he says, why is that happening? He said, what they're doing, he goes, now there's not going to be any caste here. He goes, there isn't going to be someone where you can say, I'm a Punjabi or I'm English or I'm this. He said, it's all going to get mixed. He goes, there isn't going to be any distinction about your past. But he said one thing, he says that the Punjabi people here, he goes, that they don't have faith. He goes, they don't have faith in the Guru. He says the Indians, they don't have that much faith. He says, but the white people who convert in, he said, they have loads of faith. So they find something new. They find something. Whereas he said the Punjabis, even then, he's saying they haven't got that much faith. He goes, so the mixture, there's a new Khalsa that's getting generated there. But he said, anyway, moving through, he says the Langars were prepared really efficiently. He said they had factories preparing the stuff, and he talked about so this book was probably about 15 something years ago. He talked about a machine where the prashade or the rotiya come out through a machine. So he talked about it in this book, and then about 5-6 years later, the Bars has actually got that now, and they're advancing it to probably other stuff. But he said that the tunnel ran from Amritsar to Delhi with settlements along the way, and each settlement, he said, had a Gurdwara, and he had a factory where they're making food and they're providing for the Langar. I'm going to go through. So he says, there's a multi-story large hospital. He went inside, he says, there's no patients. And said, well, massive hospital, why aren't there any patients here? He says, everyone here does Simran. He goes, through Simran, they've all gone really healthy. He says, they don't have disease, that, it's rare that anyone gets ill. He said, lifespans were 150 years, and they achieved all their spiritual goals. And he said, when he went shopping, he goes, that was all different as well. He said, they had the things in the shopping, so they had, so let's say it's a dream, but it's very detailed. So he's saying that in the shopping, he said, you pay, he goes, every item costs the same. So they just change the quantities, but the items are all costing the same, and the weight's the same of the items. And they check to see whether what weight you come in with and what weight you go out with. So it's a bit interesting set of things in there. But he said even animals, he goes, they're treated really healthy. They're really healthy. The animals are treated, and he said even outside of Gurbani's playing where the animals are, he says that they come back as humans. So he says there's a search cycle going on, that everything's about compassion. But he said the motorways, they were really wide. He said, but there's food areas. He goes, you go to a food area down. He says, but it's all free. He says, you just go there, it's just free. Everyone's just giving free food everywhere. And he says there's flowers on both sides of the motorway. He goes, so that the smell was he says it's different. He says even when he's going down motorways, he gets the smell of flowers. He gets overwhelming, really clean. But he said all the elderly were travelling free. The children received allowances from birth, which they receive when they're older. So they get a marriage allowance, a house, a car. It was all paid for. And he said before they start work, they get 6 months world travel holiday that's paid for by the Khalsa there. So he said the electricity and water shortages that are in India, he goes, that's changed because the Khalsa made a dam. He goes, and they fixed the water problem. And he said every Gurdwara is having a changing effect. So he said that what they said there was that the Gurdwara that open here now, because all the Bani that's being read, the Guru's words, the singing of Kirtan, the Simran now, he said that's had an effect and it's changing the world, that we can't see it. But he said it's had a big effect. He goes, but now when they're sitting there and doing Simran in that quantity now, he said it's having a really massive effect on there. But he said Khalsa centres were being built worldwide with free food and clothes. They were distributed there for free. Sikhs were looking after children if they'd been abandoned, and when they got older, so they were looking out for these where there's broken families and children weren't being looked after, and they were looking after them all there. But he said the Panch Pyare from Akal Takht would lead international discussions about for the Sikhs. 5 Sikhs will be present in villages. So there's Panch Singhs in all the villages, or 5 Sikhs, not Singhs. And there will be no beggars. Hospitals will be built that are free. Nobody will be forced into religion. All are respected. And he said 3 of the 5 Panch Pyare were white, and the Gurdwara had white people in it. So he said he saw a real change. He said it wasn't like Punjab. You know, it was different. It was like so it didn't look like an Indian place. So that was interesting. So the reason why I talked about that was I did mention that we would go over it very briefly, but one of the key things is that they're the kind of, our dreams should be positive. You know, our dreaming, our day-to-day should be in a way that is building positive thoughts, so that the dream is in helping us become better as people, is making us better as spiritual people, and is moving your meditation forward. That was the purpose of that. So his dream, he's seeing a very positive, forward, new world, that even though in Kaljug, so this is the dark age now, in the dark age, everything that's really evil expands really quickly now. Anything that's really you're trying to do that's kind of going to move us to an internal search moves slowly. But he's saying that the positive things that we're doing in terms of the spiritual bhakti that we're doing now, that's having a massive effect on on changing the world. If you do something with a lot of emotion in the day, it starts coming in your dream. And the reason for waking up at 2:30, 3 a.m. is that if you see what your mind's doing there, especially when it tries to fall asleep, if you see what it's doing, it starts replaying part of your day, but in a warped kind of way. But what if you're awake, you can semi-conscious, let's just say, you can see what it's doing. Whereas average person, you'll be knocked out. You sleep at 10 o'clock, let's say, they'll be asleep until 6. But then when we missed a time, there's a time there, that's the spiritual time. If you break that sleep there, you'll realize that your mind is actually doing certain things with what is done in the day. That's why when Guru says walking, sitting, standing, talking, but also sleeping, he says if you keep your conscious mind towards God and His Word, then it prevents that. Those 5 evils. One thing you might realize is, you know, there's 5 evils. Now when someone's young, especially lust, anger, all these things, they come out worse, really bad. They come out really bad at 1:30, 2 o'clock. They're really bad. To be asleep while they're coming out like that, that's just like self-destruction. Self-destruction, that's what I regard it as. They come out really bad at 2, 3 o'clock. And that's why Simran at that time has a massive, huge effect on controlling the negative things in your mind.
It's that time now that you've all been waiting for and looking forward to. It's that competition winners announcement time.
Yeah, the Sevadars have found it very difficult to shortlist a single winner, so they're a group of children who will be receiving prizes.
We've got to say a huge thank you for everybody who's sending in their videos, amazing piece of artwork. It was absolutely beautiful to see how, in different ways, people have brought Gurbani into the lives of their children. So who are the winners?
So the winners are Teg Singh and Harleen Kaur, Meherdeep Singh and Jyotiroop Kaur, Jasleen Kaur and Mastan Singh, and finally Brahmjot Singh.
So wonderful Share charity prizes are on the way to you. You'll get books, you'll get stationery. Just look out for it in the post.
Share Charity UK bring you another fantastic book from Sikh history, Guru Nanak and the Boulder. Wonderful illustrations and a little reflection quiz. It's written in rhyme for you and your offspring to enjoy. The book is available on eBay and Amazon now.
Sangaji, thank you so much for all your feedback, for all the love that we've received. It's been absolutely beautiful. So this is our penultimate show this week. So we'll be off the air very, very soon, which is a bit sad, but we've got so much work to do. And we hope that by watching these shows that you've come to realise exactly what Share Charity is about and what the things that we've done and we're working on. So we've got the iCamp still working on in India and different initiatives that we're doing with the NHS here in the UK. We've got lots and lots of books that we're working on and more apps coming out in very, very soon actually. So Sikhi to the max. I have to emphasise this because I had some Sangat come up to me, the Gurdwara recently, said they were a bit confused about what Share Charity did with Sikhi to the Max, but the Sevadars at Share Charity work to help bring Sikhi to the Max to you. And Sikhi to the Max is an absolutely amazing app that you can download now. There were final tweaks that we had to put into the app that have been done now, so please download that. Keep giving us your feedback. Learn Gurumukhi app has gone down an absolute treat with Punjabi schools and parents with their kids. Super Sant has been very successful in kids workshops and kids camps, but we need volunteers, we need your Daswand, we need donations. So the bank details are at the bottom. We've got our Instagram pages, we've got Facebook, we've got YouTube. Please subscribe. It makes the difference to our charity and to get the word out there.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦਸਵੰਧ ਕੱਢਣਾ ਅਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਪਾਓ ਜੀ.
So we've got the bloopers to follow, but thank you so much for tuning in, Sangat ji. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh. Sangat ji, it's that time now that you've all been waiting for. It's the competition winners announcement.
Yeah, the Sangat and the Sevadars.
So we're back with our health section this week, and by Harbeer Singh is getting us up and active again. We've had a lot of videos come through of children following his exercises. We hope you will too. So enjoy the segment. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh. Welcome Sangat ji to Share Charity TV show, and this week co-presenting with me is our Share Charity Sevadar, Baltej Singh. Welcome.
Thank you.
So we're going to begin with our donors, and thank you so much to everybody who donated to Share Charity TV. So on Khalsa Club, we are looking at the importance of Rag and the magic of Rag, and also looking at string instruments.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be getting a.
Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh. Welcome to this week's.
What are we doing, by the way? Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji. I wasn't laughing that time. You...
I'm not going to stop looking at you because I'm looking at you. I'm not going to look at
you. She's got the giggles.
Welcome to this week's segment of the parenting. Welcome to this week's parenting segment. Okay.
And welcome to this week's parenting show.
Parenting segment.
Okay, parenting segment. Okay. It's a segment, not the whole show. Okay, cool.
Okay.